Hey everyone, welcome to a late weekly review. Was gone for the Easter holiday and only now getting to do this. So let's jump into it. Yesterday was pretty rough, minus 2.48 on SPY. It was minus 3 plus at some point, but recovered in the on the close. This was the close basically, and now we're gapping up 1%. Things are looking pretty bullish in my opinion. Like everything that happened yesterday, as activity kind of points that this was the bottom. Previous lows like I use the June low, not the June low, sorry, the COVID low, which the final push down was on a Monday 23rd of March. In 2018, same thing. So this was Monday 24th of December. And even though this is not the low came in previously, it's consistent to have a final push down on the Monday following OPEX. And I think there are two scenarios that can play out. One, yesterday was the low, and we go up from here, and we target this area again, like 5,800 ish, or we continue chopping and go down for the full 5K retest, go like here by end of month, like we have until mid next week basically, and then we start the bear market rally in May. So either bear market rally starts now or it starts around here. We shall see. I think it's going to start now because of the activity and the setups, and I'll explain each one. So first of all, let's look at a bit of at activity, and there was some interesting stuff in leveraged bear SPX ETFs. There was gold activity, there was UVIXI, and there was also TLT. Which are very interesting to look at. So first of all, let's look at so we have 3x bear S&P, 2x bear, 1x bear, and so on. And the interesting part with them is uh, I'll go to last 7 days. Is they that on first day we had this large print. For example, here on SPXU is 5.2 million and the one of 1 million. And yesterday we had a close of 5.1 million. It's not exactly the same number, but it's way too close to not consider this. So this was an open, we went down, and they're already taking profit here. So this is XPXU. Then we have SPXS, and we have 15.5 million shares on first day, and then yesterday we have 15.1 million. Again, way too close as a number to. This was an open, this was a close, and they already took profit on almost all of it. SDS, same thing. We have a 5 million shares and 425k. And yesterday we have 0.8 million. Almost took profit on everything. This again, this can be everything, but it's got smaller trades, so only the 5 largest trades appear here. So SDS also looks to have been a close. Let's look at SH, which is 1x bear. I don't think this has the same pattern. Oh, it does. So we have 7.9 million, and yesterday on the close 7.4 million. So everything seems to have been closed out, or most of it. They just bought for a dip on Monday, and now that they covered, everything seems to be set up for us to go up again. Another interesting one is UVXY, which you can see we had the number print at the top, and now we have the number 2 print and the number 19 print. And if I zoom in for last 7 days, you can see that it came nearly at the top and then we reversed. So this is the print almost exactly at the top, and then we started going down. So a lot of things are pointing towards this being just the post OPEX Monday in which it tries to go down again, but it failed to make an IT devol. What did we close yesterday? 80 something. So it was safe. It was 90 devol for most of the day and closed 83. And that 83 was probably like the last 2 hours as well. And then TLT, which TLT didn't have a large print, but it had a lot of smaller ones. If we look at the weekly, and I'll put You see that almost exactly at the bottom. Let's do since last season session. So a lot of activity in this bottom area. We have 600. In total, it was around 1 billion. So I kind of assume that this is a big deal, and the convergence of everything plus the macro setup, I think, points towards this being a low. It's obviously can still be a bit skittish. We're at 30 plus VIX, so expectations are of big swings. But we also have some signals that risk on is coming back on, first from Bitcoin. Oh, I forgot to show gold, which I think puts a top into gold. So GDXU, which is 3x Bull Gold Miners, we had the number one print in not that much money, but let's look at last 90 days. Just the way the candle looks like a number one print after a huge extension in gold, GDXU. Yeah, so tried to go up and got rejected. Tried to go up, still closed red. Tried to go up again, got rejected. Uh, Third time's the charm, and I think this will actually pull back a bit more. It's hard to evaluate GDXU, but the natural support is around here, which would be like 63. So from 79 to 63, it has room to go down and fill this gap here. Also kind of a signal thing. Uh, I I learned to not ignore the leveraged ETF prints. If we get, for example, a huge print in SPY, it could be anything. Of course, depending on the context, it can be a signal, but it can also be anything. But if we get like this cluster of leveraged ETF activity, this means something for sure. And given the price reaction and the gap up this morning and everything else, I'm thinking we made the bottom, or this is a short-term one. And because gold has acted as a safe haven the past couple of weeks, and this year in total, like I think gold is up like 30% this year. I think even more. So basically, since here it's 58% up this year. No, I'm stupid. I was counting 2024. Oh no, it's fine. It was good. Basically from here. So yeah, gold has had a huge run and it has been a safety asset. Now that it pulls back, it means money goes back into other stuff. Now, another factor is that this CMH print, we had this came in first initially 128 in volume in puts, short dated. This was two weeks uh, puts. We had a follow up that added to the OI, and yesterday we had what looks to be a close of that OI. So we have volume below OI. It's only 4 DTE, so it's unlikely that and it's still out of the money. So it's unlikely that this was a new open. I don't see any reason why this would be another bearish bet. I think it's profit taking or closing of this position, and combined with some activity, some bullish activity on ARM, some bullish activity on TSM. So some bullish activity on TSM, and this kind of points to gold topping. We have potentially a bottom in SPX. We have a top in VIX. We have some bullish activity in semis, which will drive SPX up. And on top of this, we have a BTC showing some signs of bullish as well. So risk appetite is coming back on. We have yields super overextended, and at the low we have TLT, what looks to be deep buying for TLT. We have dollar super overextended as well, like to the downside. RSI very low. We haven't had a bounce, at least a bounce in a while. So this really, really needs to let off some steam. And because we are so overextended, when the short covering begins, meaning short take profit and the unwind of this short position on the dollar, for example, begins, or the short position on US equities, we have a lot of energy, pent up energy that can push us for a very large bear market rally. If everything aligns, like, first of all, Trump shuts the fuck up, or maybe we get some actual positive news, maybe some trade deal, maybe he backs down on something. Who the fuck knows? So something positive has to come as well, or at least no new negative thing. Then we have dollar super overextended and with a lot of shorts on the dollar that will be covering a bit. So it at least gives us room to get this type of move, which is 3% up. So 3.3 to 5% up on the dollar is very likely, given the extension of the move, and we can go lower later, but we need some to let some air out, and maybe we do something like this. But for now, we really, really have to go back up. Then the reason for the second drop in yields is the fear that JPA will get fired. I don't think that will happen. Even if it happens, it's not the end of the world. My position on this whole US thing is it's overblown. Like, if there is a country who has zero risk of defaulting, or the US can default, but it's the largest military power in the world. The country with the largest military in the world cannot default. Basically, if there is one person who is willing and will use the military to get their way, it's going to be Trump. So this whole US hate wave, while it's warranted, it's in because it's just a normal market reaction. But in reality, at some point, people remember that the US is still super fucking strong, and there is no reason for stuff in the EU to have lower yields than stuff in the US. And we have, where is it? Like, this is German debt to German 10, 2.4 yield. Japan, 1.3 yield. Italy, 3.6 yield. France, 3.2 yield. Why are these countries having lower yields than the US when the US is the only country that can enforce whatever the fuck they want? So this makes no sense. At some point, the market will realize this. Right now, it's not relevant for the thesis. The thesis is that we are so overextended that the pent-up energy built up over time, that we have the potential for a huge pre-market rally, which means also means yields up, dollar up, US stocks up, so a bit of rotation back into the US because everything is too overextended on the other side. Yeah. What else did I have set up? No, I think that is kind of it. So this is the thesis. We have the JPOW thing. So even if JPOW goes, which I don't think will go because Trump is scared, and his reactions are that of a scared man, not of someone who is willing to go the mile. It will obviously take us a bit higher in yields, but I think it's an overextension move that will just reverse very soon. Because even if uh, even if someone comes instead of JPOW, it's not like the Fed will cut instantly. The Fed is a vote-based cutting machine, so it doesn't mean we see cuts very soon. I think the earliest cuts we can see is probably September, and it's still gonna be symbolic. But he can tone down the rhetoric, the bearish rhetoric. We'll see how it goes. For now, I think we're gonna get a huge bear market rally. We're gonna go back to SPY. So we are about here back to the AVO up. If we reconquer the AVO up, we go back to 340-ish. And I think we close this gap for sure. Target remains this area at the election gap. So this is still my target. I don't think we can go higher than this. We'll evaluate when we get in this area, but I want to see us go here first before doing anything else. Yeah, that's it for now. Have a good one. Bye bye.